What would you do if you saw someone sitting alone for hours at an airport, clearly needing help but too proud to ask? Would you walk by like everyone else, or would you stop? The answer to that question changed two lives forever in the most unexpected way. Welcome back to Echoes of Adyoom, where we explore stories of prejudice, justice, and incredible comebacks. I'm your host, and today's story will show you how a simple act of kindness can shatter the walls that society builds around people who are different. Before we dive in, drop a comment below and tell us where you're watching from around the world. And if this story moves you like it moved me, hit that subscribe button because we've got so many more powerful stories coming your way. Picture this, Gate C-17 at a busy airport terminal. Hundreds of people rushing past, dragging suitcases, balancing overpriced coffee, completely absorbed in their own worlds. But there, sitting perfectly still for over 3 hours, was Alyssa Carrington, a woman who looked like she had everything together on the surface, but was drowning in isolation underneath. Alyssa wasn't just any passenger. She was the daughter of a tech mogul, a former executive who once ran million-dollar campaigns and flew first class to meetings across the country. But 8 months ago, everything changed when a distracted teenager ran a red light and left her paralyzed from the waist down. Now, here she was, stranded. Her car service had gone to the wrong terminal, her driver wasn't responding, and she hadn't eaten in hours. The airline staff had offered help but disappeared the moment she declined assistance to the curb. A water bottle had fallen by her feet 2 hours earlier, and she still couldn't bring herself to ask someone to pick it up. This is where our society's true colors show, isn't it? When someone needs help but doesn't fit the traditional image of what needing help looks like. That's when Elijah appeared, a single father traveling with his 6-year-old son Carter. While hundreds of others had walked by, Elijah was the first to actually see Alyssa. Not her wheelchair. Not her designer clothes. Not her polished appearance that screamed, "I have it all together." He saw a human being who needed someone to care. "Excuse me, are you okay?" he asked simply. Those 5 words broke through hours of isolation. But here's what made Elijah different. When Alyssa gave her automatic response of, "I'm fine," he didn't just walk away. He stayed. He sat down with his son on the bench next to her, not out of pity, but like it was the most natural thing in the world. As they talked, something beautiful happened. Elijah didn't treat Alyssa like she was fragile or broken. When he accidentally said she could walk with them to baggage claim and she corrected him, he didn't panic or stumble over apologies. He simply acknowledged his mistake and moved on. "That's rare," Alyssa told him. "Someone not panicking when I correct them." His response? "I figure we all need grace these days, especially when we mess up." This wasn't just about disability awareness, this was about human dignity. About seeing people as complete individuals rather than their circumstances. But of course, not everyone got the memo. Enter the airport employee in the navy blazer, a woman who looked right past Elijah and Carter and spoke to Alyssa like she was a misdelivered package that needed managing. "There you are. I was told you'd need assistance. Let's get you downstairs before there's more confusion." The condescension was thick. The assumption that Alyssa couldn't make her own decisions was insulting. When Elijah calmly pointed out that Alyssa already had help, the woman's response was telling, "I wasn't speaking to you, sir." This is the corporate snobbery we see everywhere, the assumption that people with disabilities need to be managed rather than respected. But here's where the story gets incredible. 6 months after that airport encounter, Alyssa launched something revolutionary. She created a new division called Groundline, focused on accessible design and inclusive technology. But she didn't hire the usual suspects. She chose engineers who had been overlooked, project managers who'd been stuck in temp contracts, developers with messy resumes because life had gotten complicated. She built her team from people who knew what it felt like to be left out of systems that weren't designed for them. The story comes full circle when Elijah and Carter visit Alyssa's new workspace 6 months later. Carter, now carrying a plush octopus instead of his dinosaur, immediately spots a quote on the whiteboard: "You don't have to prove anything. You're already enough." It was something Elijah had told Alyssa during that phone call the morning after their airport meeting, words that had stuck with her through her entire transformation. This story isn't just about disability or corporate culture. It's about how we see each other as human beings. Alyssa didn't need someone to fix her, she needed someone to see her. Elijah didn't perform some grand heroic gesture. He simply noticed someone who had been sitting alone for hours and asked if she was okay. Think about it, how many people do we walk past every day who are invisible to us? How many Alyssas are sitting in our airports, our offices, our neighborhoods, waiting for someone to simply see them as they are? The most powerful part of this story is Elijah's final words to Alyssa: "You don't have to prove anything. You're already enough." After 8 months of trying to earn her place back in the world, someone finally reminded her that her worth wasn't conditional. Today, Alyssa's company is revolutionizing accessible technology, but the real revolution happened in that airport terminal. It happened when a single father taught his son, and reminded a successful businesswoman, that human dignity isn't negotiable. Sometimes strangers save us. Not with grand gestures, but by showing up. By staying long enough to matter. By treating people like they belong, right where they are. The next time you're in an airport, a coffee shop, or just walking down the street, look up. Look around. Someone might be waiting for a small moment of kindness to remind them they matter. Remember, you don't need to fix people. You just need to see them. What would you have done in Elijah's position? Have you ever been the person sitting alone, hoping someone would notice? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to tell us where you're watching from. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember to subscribe to Echoes of Adyoom for more stories about overcoming prejudice, finding justice, and celebrating incredible human comebacks. Until next time, keep seeing the humanity in everyone you meet.